ROOK piercings. How much do they cost? Do they hurt? How long do they take to heal? What even are they? Well, as someone who has not just one but two ROOK piercings, I will be answering all of your burning questions coming right up. I'm Ellie Wilder and you're watching Wilder in Motion. If this is your first time on my channel, my name is Ellie. I make videos about DIY, travel and lifestyle, so if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, consider clicking that subscribe button. Now let's get into everything you need to know about ROOK piercings. So I have a ROOK piercing on my right and left ear, one either side. I got these both at the same time a bit over 2 years ago now, and I've learned a lot since getting them, and I had a few weird things happen which I thought you'd be interested in knowing before you got your own ROOK piercing. So first up, what even is a ROOK piercing? Well, it's a piercing that goes vertically down through the cartilage just in your inner ear towards the top. Not everyone's ROOK is compatible with a long-term piercing. Sometimes it's the wrong angle, the wrong size. So make sure you check with your piercer first to see if it's going to be a good option and last in the long term. As for why I personally decided to get a ROOK piercing, I really wanted a cartilage piercing. Originally I was thinking a tragus or a daith. However, both of those can interfere with your ability to use in-ear headphones, and that was going to be a problem for me because I like to wear those a lot. So I decided to go with the ROOK instead, and I haven't had any issues with using headphones. They're also nice and subtle and tucked away. You can't even see them now that I'm looking front on. And they're also great for side sleepers. The jewelry doesn't come through to the back. And they're also easier to clean because it doesn't have a butterfly back. Now, once I decided on a ROOK piercing, I had to find somewhere to go and get it done. So I decided to ask the most pierced person I know, and I definitely recommend you do this too. Find someone you know and they'll be able to direct you to a salon in your area and give you their own personal experience of it as well. I ended up going to a specialty piercing parlor, which I would recommend over something like a retailer that just does piercing on the side for a little more money. Also, tattoo parlors often do piercings too, and you can be a bit more reassured in specialty places that they have a bit better training as well as really good hygiene practices too, so that reassured me. So once I decided where I was going to get my piercings done, I went to make an appointment and I found out that they were training an apprentice, and that meant that they had half-price cartilage piercings available. Now, I know some people are thinking, oh my god, you let an untrained person shove a needle through your body? Well, I did not see it that way at all. They assured me there would be a fully qualified piercer in the room at all times, and I was saving $50 because it was normally $50 per ROOK, but with the half price it was only $25 each. And I felt fine with having an apprentice do it, so I decided to take that option. Apologies, the shot and the lighting just changed. I'm having to film this on my phone because the camera cards in my camera are being absolutely useless at the moment, so please excuse. So at my piercing appointment, my piercer first did my second lobes because I got that done in the same time. And then she put a little dot where I had specified I wanted my ROOK piercings, which was a bit closer, a bit more tucked away. And then she took a sterilized needle and pushed down through my ROOK area. And yes, it hurt quite a lot. I kind of just scrunched my face up a bit, but it wasn't like I was crying or anything like that, or I needed to have a break. It was totally fine just to go on and do the other side immediately after. So if you're worried about the pain, I wouldn't let it stop you from getting this piercing. And then after the needle was through, she just followed with a curved titanium barbell, which I had chosen out beforehand. I definitely recommend paying a little bit extra to get titanium if that's an option. This is normally the kind of jewelry that I'm wearing, and I've never had any reaction to titanium. So after piercing one was done, she went in and did the same thing on the other side. However, halfway through pushing the needle in, it kind of hit a firmer piece of cartilage and kind of got stuck, and the apprentice freaked out a little bit. But the fully qualified piercer was totally calm the whole time. She was like, it's fine, just keep pushing through. And then she just kind of gave it an extra shove, which was not super comfortable. I was like, and then she followed through with the piece of jewelry. After the piercings were all finished up, the jewellery was in. It didn't really hurt at all. It was just kind of mildly warm, and on the ride home it didn't really feel like anything at all. I didn't have any bleeding or anything like that either, so it was actually totally fine for the first few days. After about 3 days, then it started to become a little more painful, and I just kept following up with my aftercare. So my preferred method of aftercare is a saline spray and water spray system. So how I do this is I spray with this little bottle. It's just a travel toiletry bottle filled with saline, which I made, but you could also buy the saline. Spray it on there and let it sit for about 5 minutes, and then clear off the saline with some water, and then go in and dry it with a Q-tip. In terms of jewellery for rook piercings, there isn't any specific rook jewellery. Mostly I find it's best to look for eyebrow jewellery. There's a few different types that you can wear though. The main one is a curved barbell. Normally both ends unscrew, or sometimes it's got decorative on one end. The other jewellery out there is of course rings. I do not have any rings at the moment, but I really want one. I originally got my rook pierced so that I could wear these ringed jewelry. However, I originally tried the suspended rings, where it's kind of a ring like that, and then there's a little ball with 2 dimples in it, and the edges of the rings sit in the dimples. However, I found these totally impossible to get in and out and super painful. I think these are only an option if you are prepared to pay a piercer every time you want your jewelry to be changed, because I just think they're a total nightmare to get in and out. Now, I was so excited with my new rook piercings. I loved how they looked, so I immediately went online and bought some jewelry, and it arrived after a couple of weeks, and I was so excited I just had to put it in. Big mistake. I ended up getting a cartilage bump on the underside of my right rook, and that was very annoying, but I just had to be really thorough with my cleaning to make it go away, which it did eventually. I have absolutely no cartilage bumps left anymore, which was a big fear of mine. So I'd recommend, to prevent that, you definitely keep the original jewelry in for the full 6 months. Just be patient and you'll get great long-term results, and also just be really thorough with your cleaning and drying. Now, as for the healing time, it definitely took the full 6 months to be totally healed to the point where I can take jewelry in and out with no pain whatsoever, and there's no kind of gunk or anything coming out of them, which can happen for the first couple of weeks. I would say that now at this point, having them for over 2 years, they're totally fine. They never hurt at all. I don't really even need to clean them. I just make sure I dry them really thoroughly after showering. And that's the way that I've kept my rook piercing looking amazing and cartilage bump free for this entire time. Thank you so much for watching. I hope I answered all of your questions about rook piercings, but if there's anything I missed, make sure you leave a comment down below and I will answer you there. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.